ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरुं श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवं श्री राधा कृष्ण पादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्ता राधा कान्ता नमोस्तुते तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे।
जय जय जगन्नाथ सच्चिदानंद मने कोरे जा शरणवंदा। जय जय जगन्नाथ सच्चिदानंद मने कोरे जा शरणवंदा। जय जय जगन्नाथ सच्चिदानंद मने कोरे जा शरणवंदा। जय जय जगन्नाथ सच्चिदानंद प्रभु मने कोरे जा शरणवंदा। नीलाचले शंखचक्र गण पद्मधार नदिया नगरे दंड कमंडलुकार। नीलाचले शंखचक्र गण पद्मधार नदिया नगरे दंड कमंडलुकार। देहु बोले पुरवे चावंद दिला बोलो के वैभव लीला प्रकाश लीला। देहु बोले पुरवे चावंद दिला बोलो के वैभव लीला प्रकाश लीला। राधे गावे रे गोरा अवतार हरे कृष्ण नाम गौर पुरीला प्रचार। श्री राधे गावे रे गोरा अवतार हरे कृष्ण नाम गौर पुरीला प्रचार। वासुदेव घोष बोले कोई जोड़ा हाथ जय गौर श्री कृष्ण से जगन्नाथ। वासुदेव घोष बोले कोई जोड़ा हाथ जय गौर श्री कृष्ण से जगन्नाथ। जय गौर श्री कृष्ण से जगन्नाथ। जय गौर श्री कृष्ण से जगन्नाथ। जय जय जगन्नाथ सच्चिदानंद जय जय जगन्नाथ सच्चिदानंद मने कोरे जा शरणवंदा। जय जय जगन्नाथ सच्चिदानंद मने कोरे जा शरणवंदा। जय जय जगन्नाथ सच्चिदानंद मने कोरे जा शरणवंदा। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे राम हरे राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम राम राम।
Panoodin ko yung video.
की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, जय प्रेमानंदी, हरि हरि बोल।
5 more minutes is there.
You can sing Narsimha prayer.
नमस्ते नरसिंहाय, भगवान की जय, श्री भक्ति शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय।
Hare Krishna. Mishti, thank you. And Prajna, Shivani, and where is our Maulik? I don't see Maulik.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Maulik, where are you? You didn't come in the picture. You're in the back. And Nandana. Nandana, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes. Just introduce yourself quickly. Which class?
I'm studying in 8th standard, Prabhuji.
Okay. Did you join any rounds?
Yes, Prabhuji, 6 rounds.
Very good. Maulik? Mishti?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just finished 12.
Can't hear you.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. I just finished 12.
Mishti, your brother is hiding. What is happening?
I'm in 7th grade.
Okay. And Prajna is the one who's giving treat to all of you all. She's earning. And Shivani is in which class?
Hare Krishna, I just finished 10th.
Very good, Shivani. Very good. Wishing you all the best of everything. And may Jagannath Swami give you the blessings as it's times now. So, big Hare Krishna mantra from all of us in Shamadesh. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Prabhuji, for giving an opportunity to do the kirtan.
No problem. We will be given again afterwards also. Be ready. Hari Hari.
Hare.
Sadharana Prabhu,
Yes.
are you able to spotlight SURDAS Prabhuji? Is he joined?
Just a second, bro.
हेमंग
Yes,
प्रभु जी,
हाँ,
हेमंग प्रभु जी, आपने कांटेक्ट किया था उनको?
yes. वो तो डेली मिलते ही है ना.
नहीं अभी आया ज्वाइन किया नहीं अभी
हाँ नहीं अभी वो बोले मैं 9:30 को बराबर टाइम पे ज्वाइन कर लूंगा ऐसा बोला। अभी शायद अभी आ गए मुझे लगता है। उनकी जो वाइफ का फोटो है इधर दिख रहा है मेरे को।
वरा माता जी का है फोटो? ओके तो
वरहा रूपा का है शायद। देखो वो तो नहीं है सूरदास प्रभु का है, यहाँ उनकी वाइफ है।
ओके
या सदानंद प्रभु वरा माता जी।
यस प्रभु, वीडियो ऑन करना है प्रभु जी। वीडियो ऑन करेंगे, आई कैन स्पॉटलाइट प्रभु।
हाँ आ रहे हैं सूरदास प्रभु, कनेक्ट हो रहे हैं, कनेक्ट हो रहे हैं।
Yeah, Sudas Prabhu is come. Yes, yes.
हाँ ऑलरेडी कनेक्ट हो गए।
यस ओके।
अरे
Hare Krishna. Hare
Hare
Krishna. Sudas Prabhu ji, please accept my
Hare
humble wishes.
So wonderful. You have at the backside the complete universe of Brahman. So nice.
So how are you, Prabhuji? Nice to have you again. I mean, on a Zoom thing. I have been missing to meet you. Nowadays, you are totally into the other part of Mumbai.
No, but I go to Juhu also for 3 days.
Yeah, I know that. But whenever I come, last time I came, I missed you. I mean, I was with Brother Prabhu. We came to your room, but then you were not there. So,
Yes.
unfortunately, yeah. So we always look forward for meeting you. You know, the time is always a pleasure.
All your kind, good wishes. What time? How much time I have to spend with you all?
Prabhuji, normally is minimum 1 hour to 1.5 hours is the range.
Okay.
It's up to you. I mean, if you have a little more, it's not a problem at all. So what we normally do is that when you speak in English, Yamango Prabhu will translate immediately in Hindi because there are some Hindi-speaking devotees also.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So I hope that's fine with you. I mean,
Problem. I have no problem. I can speak in Hindi also. No problem.
because there are some English, you know, we prefer both is better because in some cases, of course, yeah.
मैं हिंदी में भी बोल सकता हूँ। आप थोड़ा सा इंग्लिश और हिंदी सब मिक्स करके।
हाँ ठीक है, ऐसे भी चलेगा अगर आप चाहे तो। आपके ऊपर मैं छोड़ देता हूँ। Give me a second to introduce your guest. Hare Krishna. We are very fortunate to have His Grace Surdas Prabhuji with us today. Yamango Prabhuji, you can
हाँ
translate.
तो हम बहुत आज सौभाग्यशाली कि हमारे बीच में पूजनीय सूरदास प्रभु जी पधारे हैं।
His Grace has been in this movement from 1978 times, and he is also the senior disciple of His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj.
और ये जो प्रभु जी हैं हमारे जो संस्था से 1978 से जुड़े हुए हैं और ये परम पूजनीय गोपाल कृष्ण गोस्वामी महाराज के वरिष्ठ शिष्यों में से हैं।
He had been heading the Sankirtan division of Jew and many other sevas for many years, and a new responsibility of setting up the Khargar temple, which has come up so beautifully, also had been on his shoulders.
तो इन्होंने कई वर्षों से जुहू में जो संकीर्तन जो विभाग है उनकी सेवा में और बहुत सारी सेवाएं वहाँ पे जुहू में इन्होंने की है। और अभी जो नया जो इनको जो सेवा है कि जो खारगर मंदिर का जो इनका मंदिर के अध्यक्ष है उनका पूरा इनको स्थापना कर रहे हैं पूरा उसका, और काफी अच्छा मंदिर बन चुका है, वो ऑलमोस्ट तैयार है वो।
On a personal note, of course, I have been very fortunate to have his mercy from my young days, and Prabhuji also is such a good mediator and one of the very balanced persons in the Jew temple whom everybody looks upon to get their problems solved.
तो प्रभु जी को मैं बहुत जब युवावस्था में तभी से मुझे उनकी कृपा मिलती रही है और मैंने जो पाया वहाँ पे कि उनको बहुत अच्छा मतलब ये कोई भी समस्या उनका बहुत अच्छा हल दे देते हैं। तो इसलिए जो मंदिर में कभी कोई भी कुछ समस्या आती तो उनको बुलाया जाता है, पूरी समस्याओं का हल फटाफट निकाल देते हैं और बहुत ज्यादा संतुलित व्यक्ति हैं वो।
And he is also equally supported by very good Mataji, we call her of course Tai, and Vara Mataji, and she also has been a very great support to both of them. Is a great team there in actually.
तो उनकी जो पत्नी है वरा माता जी हैं, उनको हम ताई बोलते हैं और उनका भी काफी मतलब सहयोग रहा है और काफी उन्होंने दोनों ने मिलकर बहुत अच्छी सेवा की है और बहुत अच्छा उन्होंने एक टीम तैयार किया है उन्होंने।
So welcoming Prabhuji and thanking for joining at a very short notice. Big Hare Krishna mantra for the good health of him and all the team members from Shamadesh. Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Over to you.
Thank you very much, and Radha Bhav Prabhu and Hemang Prabhu. And yes, I never play my own drums all my life. And the introductions, whatever you have been giving, is not correct, because I came to ISKCON in 1978 from the book. I graduated as a filmmaker from Chennai and Madras. I was a full-fledged filmmaker in Mumbai, but by the grace of the Vaishnavas, I came to ISKCON in 1978, and I have been connected with it. And you must be all knowing the devotees that we produced an Haridas Thakur film also. And then, I was given the responsibility of managing the Govinda restaurant from 81 to 84. And that was my initial seva as a manager of the Govindas. And then after 86 till today, I'm still managing Bhakti Kalakshetra. I never managed the Sankirtan. Sankirtan, Brajahari and other people were managing, but I was managing Bhakti Kalakshetra, which is a separate institute set up by Srila Prabhupada. It is a devotional center for the performing arts. And through this cultural center, I went all over the globe and have helped most of the sannyasis in their own different yatras. Like Sarup Damodar Maharaj, I helped him to build Manipur temple. Gaur Govind Maharaj, I helped him to build the Orissa temple.
Yeah.
And in Nairobi, I helped Gopal Krishna Maharaj to set up a big center in Nairobi. And then I have helped Kamal Krishna Goswami Maharaj in Hong Kong and Philippines. I have helped Bhaktivedanta, manor in London by sending the artists and other things to that place. So these are all some of my little, engagements, which were given by none other than His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj. But that's okay. And after that, I have been managing also Mira Road Temple as a temple president for 5-6 years. And I have been also the vice president and the trustee in Juhu. And I have been also president for some time in Juhu. So then coming back, I took an opportunity of doing something in Bombay, and Krishna and Prabhupada. And my Guru Maharaj was very merciful, and Krishna was very merciful. And he gave me almost about 9 acres of land in New Bombay, where we are doing a Glory of Maharashtra project. And it's one of its kind. And I think the second best after the Mayapur. And this is what I can say. And those of you who don't know me, I would like to just remind everybody, I'm just a simple servant at the dust of the Vaishnavas. I don't have any qualification at that. But, as far as my wife is concerned, she's also very, very nice devotee. And she has been supportive along with myself. She's also very, very old disciple. She is, also Gopal Krishna Maharaj disciple, but also came across and met Prabhupada and so many Vaishnavas in Africa and so many other places. So we don't have an experience of playing our own trumpet, but we are trying to be humble and continue to assist Srila Prabhupada's movement and assist all the Prabhupada disciples in the world whom we can meet, and so that we can serve and purify our existence. This was my my introduction, and I was to thank Radha Bhav Prabhu for requesting me. Of course, yesterday he requested me, and I said that okay. I was reluctant first because a lot of engagements are there since morning, but since he knows me, and Hemanga is already here in Bombay and that also in Kharghar, so I didn't want to create an enmity with him. So I accepted the proposal.
Prabhuji, please forgive me for my small introduction. Prabhuji, out of love only we speak, but आप जो भी सेवा करते हैं, it's too much actually for us to describe.
Don't worry about it. I'm thankful in Sarja and meeting with all the wonderful devotees. And, since the beginning of Rath Yatra is in Bombay, I was the chairman of the Rath Yatra. Under
Yes.
my all the beginning, all the Rath Yatras have been conducted by myself. And of course, there are other people, they are all my juniors. In Juhu also, except Bhima Prabhu, rest everybody is my colleague and a junior to me. So, including whoever you call, I think they are all my juniors.
Yeah,
So
I
forget about
remember the
this and-
1979 में आपने फर्स्ट रथ यात्रा की थी, मुझे याद है, जो स्टार्टिंग का फर्स्ट रथ यात्रा तमाल कृष्ण महाराज के साथ में की थी. I remember that.
Yes. So, okay. So now let us focus on Srimad Bhagavatam and Ras Alayam. And that's the focus. That should be our focus. And all these designations and other things will go with the body. But what will remain is how we can serve Prabhupada in this lifetime, because our life is meant to serve Prabhupada. And if we take this up very seriously, then our life will be very, 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 very blissful and very nice. So my only humble request is, let us chant this mantra today has been given. The Srimad Bhagavatam, canto number 2 and chapter number 5, and the verse number is 15. And the title of the whole chapter is The Cause of All Causes. And the shloka goes as it is. I hope you follow the same way as we do in every temple. So, Narayana Paravidha Deva Narayangaja Narayana Paraloka Narayana Paramakha. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, word-to-word translation. Narayana, the Supreme Lord. Para is the cause and is meant for. Veda, knowledge. Deva, the demigods. Narayana, the Supreme Lord. Angaja, assisting hands. Narayana, the personality of Godhead. Para, for the sake of. Loka, the planets. Narayana, the Supreme Lord. Para, just to please him. Makha, all sacrifices. Translation by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
The Vedic literatures are made by and are meant for the Supreme Lord. The demigods are also meant for serving the Lord as parts of his body. The different planets are also meant for the sake of the Lord, and different sacrifices are performed just to please him. Purported by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada
Ki jai.
According to the Vedanta Sutra, Shastra Yogonitavat, the Supreme Lord is the author of all revealed scriptures, and all revealed scriptures are for knowing the Supreme Lord.
तेरा भी आएगा, तूने ठीक नहीं किया होगा.
Veda means knowledge that leads to the Lord. The Vedas are made just to revive the forgotten consciousness of the conditioned souls, and any literature not meant for reviving God consciousness is rejected at once by the Narayana Para devotees. Such deluding books of knowledge, not having Narayana as their aim, are not at all the knowledge, but are the playground for crows who are interested in the rejected refuse of the world. Any book of knowledge, science or art, must lead to the knowledge of Narayana. Otherwise, it must be rejected. That is the way of advancement of knowledge. The supreme worshipable deity is Narayana. The demigods are recommended secondarily for worship in relation to Narayana because the demigods are assisting hands in the management of universal affairs. As the officers of the kingdom are respected due to their relation to the king, the demigods are also worshipped due to their relation to the Supreme Lord. Without the Lord's relation, worship of the demigods is unauthorized, avidya purvakam. Just as it is improper to water the leaves and the branches of the tree without watering its roots, that the demigods are also dependent on Narayana. The lokas or different planets are attractive because they have different varieties of life and bliss, partially representing the Satchidananda Vigraha. Everyone wants the eternal life of bliss and knowledge. In the material world, such an eternal life of bliss of knowledge is progressively realized in the upper planets, but after reaching there, one is inclined to achieve further progress along the path back to Godhead. Duration of life with a proportionate quantity of bliss and knowledge may be increased from one planet to another. One can increase the duration of life to thousands and hundreds of thousands of years in different planets, but nowhere is the eternal life. But one who can reach the highest planet, that of Brahma, can aspire to reach the planets in the spiritual sky. Their life is eternal. Therefore, the progressive journey from one planet to another culminates in searching the supreme planet or the supreme Lord, Madhama, where the life is eternal and full of bliss of the knowledge. All different kinds of the sacrifice are performed just to satisfy Lord Narayan, with a view to reach him. And the best sacrifice recommended in the age of Kali Yuga is Sankirtan Yajna, the mainstay of the devotional service of Narayana Paradevotees. Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurmentam Yenai Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnupradaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Tinamine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshitarne Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare Namo Mahavadannaya Krishna Prema Padayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gauraduse Namah Namo Brahmana Devaya Go Brahmahitaya Cha Jagatitaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namah. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Deen Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesh Gopika Kant Radha Kant Namosate Tapt Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sutadevi Pranamami Hari Panchakalpatrubhyasya kripa sindhu becha patitanam bhavanebhyo Vaishnavyo namo namah. Thank you very much, Radhabha Prabhu, for giving me the opportunity to speak. I'm not a really qualified person, but still I'm trying to sort of encourage all of you who are in Sharjah with my little vocabulary, and so that you can all be reading this wonderful Bhagavatam. Because in the life of a Vaishnava, this Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of everything. And it should go into our consciousness wherever you are. हमारे जीवन में ये संपूर्ण रूप से हमारे मस्तिष्क में जाना चाहिए इसी जीवन में कि हमारे जीवन का लक्ष्य है इस भागवतम को अध्ययन करना, समझना, क्योंकि ये क्या है? ये निगम कल्पतरूर गलितम फलम सुख मुखाद अमृता द्रव्य संयुतम पीवत भागवत रसमालयम मुहुर अहो रसिक भूवि भूविका. This is a subject matter for the Hansas. This is not a subject matter of crows. That is why Vyasadeva is giving to this to us. And for us, Vyasadeva is too far to understand his prowess and his everything what he has done. But we have a great Vyasa with us, His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, who facilitated this wonderful Granth to the whole world. Whether it's a Hindi speaking, whether he's a Oriya speaking, whether he's an English speaking, German speaking, any person, Srila Prabhupada and his greatness has been that he has given us Vyasa's fantastic nectar, and on the top of it, he has given the purpose and made us to understand the subject matter so lucidly that even a dumb person comes in appreciation of the Srila Prabhupada's Bhagavatam, which he has translated and purported and given us this wonderful purpose. Even a dumb person can become a Vyasa. Even the Malaysians can become the Vyasa. Srila Prabhupada made all Malaysians the great Vaishnavas. What to speak of the Indian origin who have become Malaysians, and now in different places they are reviving their Krishna consciousness. भारतीय सभ्यता का जीव जो है उसे तो नेचुरली इसके साथ प्रेम होना चाहिए, मगर दुर्भाग्यवश वो सिर्फ पैसा कमाने के लिए पूरे जगत में, पूरे वर्ल्ड में भटक रहा है. वो अपने जीवन के उद्देश्य को भूल चुका है. सिर्फ पेट्रो डॉलर्स या ग्रीन डॉलर्स या दिनार और बड़े-बड़े पैसा कमाने के लिए चले जा रहे हैं. But that is not the goal of the life. What is the goal of the life? We have to learn from the Narada, especially the chapter Narada is going to Brahmaji. Please tell me, where from you have inherited this transcendental knowledge and everything? He's doing a right kind of an, inquiry with the right kind of a person. You see, Narada, being a transcendentalist,
Now it is your screen.
is trying to approach a Brahman. There's some side talks happening. It's feedback coming back to me. In between, please don't speak because I will lose my track. So Brahma is the supreme manager of the universe, and the proper person to be asked about the universal ultimate in Christianness, we must ask the right person. Brahma is the right source for, getting the answers. That's why Narada is approaching Brahmaji. And he is imparting this knowledge to his student with love. And he's telling, who is the Supreme Personality of Godhead? Don't undermine the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You may think that I am the, creator of universes, but actually everything is coming from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahmaji has received this transcendental knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Godhead after how much of tapasya? You know very well, all the listeners. And without tapasya and without the tyaga, don't you think that you can ever understand Krishna? Thus, this tyaga and tapasya, art of renunciation, not art of living, art of renunciation in this life. Huh? And then Prabhupada Ji is also telling us the art of dying. So how do we get this transcendental knowledge? This transcendental knowledge is coming from Supreme Lord himself. Vyasadeva is compiler of all the Vedic literature. And that also he is getting this wonderful, giving us this nectar of Srimad Bhagavatam on the persuasion of the Narada himself. So we must also execute austerity. If you want to taste the real, higher realms of Srimad Bhagavatam, we must become austere. Tapasya hi जीवन का सार है. भोग विलास जब तक जीवन में रहेगा, तब तक आपके अंदर में त्याग की भावना नहीं उत्पन्न हो सकती. और त्याग तभी हो सकता है जब आप भक्तों के संग में इस निगम तरूर फलम को आप चखेंगे. साधु संग सर्वशास्त्र के लब मात्र संग करे सर्व सिद्धि होए. This sangha, this association can transform you wherever you are. But the imparter and the sangha giver has to be pure. And without the purity, nothing can trickle down. Nothing can trickle down. So as we know that Brahmaji received this transcendental knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and so does the Brahmaji is imparting to the Narada. Narada is imparting to the Vyasa, and Vyasa is giving to Sukdev Goswami. Sukdev Goswami is giving to Parikshit, but in the assembly of the Parikshit, we see Suta also sitting there, and then he is giving furthermore transcendental knowledge. And for us, Srila Prabhupada is giving this, and that's how he has made a lot of devotees all over the globe. So this is very, very important to know that, okay? So the knowledge has to be from a right source. Why ISKCON devotees are progressing on the path of spiritual life so nicely? Because this transcendental knowledge, this Srimad Bhagavatam is coming from the right source. Srila Prabhupada, Evam Parampara Praktam Rajarisu. This transcendental knowledge in Krishna, in the Bhagavad Gita, is saying has to be learned in parampara. And that's what we are trying to do. And those who will follow the instructions of the Supreme Personality of Godhead 100% without deviation, they will get Krishna Prem, and they will ultimately reach to the transcendental abode of Lord Krishna. So this is, what has to be learned. So here we see Narada is asking questions to Brahma, and Brahma is also praising Narada. Why? Because he's the right kind of a student. Brahmaji is telling, oh my child, you have put a right question. कभी-कभी जब हम भागवत संगी संगूग में बैठते हैं तो हम कहीं ना कहीं स्पीकर से प्रश्न पूछते हैं, जिस प्रश्न का केवल उत्तरदायक देने वाले और लेने वाले का नहीं होता है, उस प्रश्न का जो फल है असेंबली में सभी बैठने वालों का होता है. सुखदेव गोस्वामी जी ने परीक्षित महाराज के सभी प्रश्नों का उत्तर देके ये श्रीमद् भागवतम हमारे बीच में लाया है. और इसमें भी जब रसिक भक्त असली भागवतम का रसास्वादन करते हैं तो उनके अंदर में भी जो प्रश्न होते हैं करने की क्षमता बढ़ती है. प्रभुपाद जी ने बताया हमेशा कि जो चतुर होते हैं वो प्रश्नों को अच्छी ढंग से प्रस्तुति करते हैं, क्योंकि उनके प्रश्नों में भी बहुत ऐसे सार होते हैं जो सार्वजनिक असेंबलीज के हित के लिए प्रश्न करते रहते हैं. तो ये नारद जी के जो ये प्रश्न हैं ये बड़े हितकारी हैं और ब्रह्मा जी बड़े प्रसन्न होते हैं जब भी हम तत्व विज्ञान के प्रश्नों को सही स्पीकर को देते हैं और उनका उत्तर प्राप्त करते हैं तो देने वाला भी बड़ा खुश हो जाता है कि अरे क्या प्रश्न किया है, what a fantastic question you have put. This is also to also see how a person is completely absorbed in Krishna consciousness. So Narada, in this way, he shows us even the great transcendentalists cannot, he is also saying that Narada's position is such a transcendental. He is also showing that I cannot understand the Supreme Personality of God. Though the devotees are knowing, actual devotees are knowing who is the Supreme Personality of God. And Krishna also reciprocates. He says, Bhaktya Mam Abhijanati. Srimad Bhagavatam, he says. But sometimes we tend to forget the etiquette of how to approach a transcendentalist, how to approach a guru. But Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, he says, Tadvidi pranipatena par prashnena sevya uddikshantate jnanam jnanena tattvadarshana. Without cultivating the etiquette in our life, we are trying to go, rather materialistic people keep on approaching the gurus for their own material motivational fulfillments. But an actual transcendentalist who parts the transcendental knowledge which can revive our Krishna consciousness, which can connect us to Krishna. And that is the beauty of, Srimad Bhagavatam. So this is the actual, association. This is the real association. And if all the devotees all over the globe are completely engrossed in this association, we can make this world more livable. Unfortunately, we see that the people are completely tossed in the materialistic, situations. बाहिरिंगा शक्ति के अंतर्गत वो अपने जीवन को जुलसा रहे हैं क्योंकि वो सोच रहे हैं कि हम इस भौतिक संसार में सुखद अनुभव करेंगे। वास्तविकता में इस भौतिक संसार में कोई सुखद अनुभव है ही नहीं, मगर हम लोग क्योंकि बहिरंगा शक्ति से प्रभावित हो गए हैं तो हम लोग पूरा मायाग्रस्त हो चुके हैं। इस माया को ग्रस्त होने वाले जीव को केवल कृष्ण रसायन से ही सींचा जा सकता है। Until unless we fertile ourselves with this transcendental knowledge, we cannot delink ourselves from the material life. And it's very much necessary. Without delinking ourselves from the material life, we cannot get the nectar of the lotus feet of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So here, this topic has been, been discussing since many days. You have been hearing it. And Srila Prabhupada is very much clearly explaining that those who get engrossed in these 5 elements, they cannot come out of it because they are wanting to lord over this and they want to enjoy this material world. And that's why perpetually they are coming back and back to this material world, but not knowing whether they will come like a dogs, hogs, cats, mules, asses. They have no clue to this, but they are only wanting to enjoy the fruits of their karma. But they must know that even the action which we are performing, Vasudeva, Narayana is part of it. When Brahmaji is creating these universes, Vasudeva is part of it. Without his prowess, we cannot do anything. Advaitam achyutam anadi ananta rupam adyam purana purusham navayauvanam cha. He is the Supreme Personality of God and all his demigods are all his agents. But those who try to surrender to the demigods, they are doing it in avidya purvak. Srila Prabhupada is explaining the purport, okay? Because they are doing it avidya purvak. But in this purport, Srila Prabhupada is giving us almost about 9 to 10 points, which we must haunt, which we must imbibe very seriously. 10 points in the purport of Srila Prabhupada, especially with this, shloka. What is the first point? According to Vedanta Sutra, the Supreme Lord is the author of all revealed sutras. Okay, so everything is coming from the Supreme Personality, even the scriptures. And we understand Vyasadeva is the literary incarnation of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There was only one scripture. And then later on, he made all the 4 Vedas, correct? Atharved, Samved, Yajurved, etc. But we saw that the Vyasadeva was not unhappy. Then he gave us the Srimad Bhagavatam. And actually the source of all knowledge is Supreme Personality of Godhead. And out of these transcendental literatures, what we have to learn? But Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He is the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Vedas are made just to revive the forgotten consciousness of the conditioned souls. And any literature that is meant for reviving God consciousness is, and any literature not meant for reviving God consciousness is rejected at once by the Rasik devotees. That's why we have to understand Srila Prabhupada. What did Prabhupada tell us? उन्होंने बताया पहले मेरे पुस्तकों को पढ़िए आप, पहले नेक्टर ऑफ इंस्ट्रक्शन पढ़िए, नेक्टर ऑफ डिवोशन पढ़िए, साइंस ऑफ सेल्फ रियलाइजेशन पढ़िए, भागवत गीता पढ़िए, उसके बाद भागवतम पढ़िए, उसके बाद चैतन्य चरितामृत पढ़िए. क्यों हमको गाइड कर रहे? ताकि हम भागवत पढ़ने के काबिल हो सके. भागवत पढ़ने का ही मतलब है टू imbibe the instructions of all the Bhagavata. And if you are not able to imbibe it, if you are not able to implement in your life, you are simply doing Tota Bodhi Gangaram. We don't have to attract people, we have to attract Krishna. As long as you have an intensity of attracting people, that means you are still wanting to Bhoga Aishwarya. In Krishna consciousness also there is an Aishwarya. Great followers, great charmer, great this, great that. But when you are completely nirlipt from all these things, then only you will be able to impregnate Krishna consciousness in everybody's mind and consciousness. And as long as you have gotten a slightest affinity to lord over the people, even also that they should give me respect, they should give me this, they should give me some dakshina, this whole thing is completely nonsense. Srila Prabhupada, with his own example, has showed how a transcendental should act among the most precarious situation and among the most opulent situations also. This was only what Prabhupada could do, and his disciples could do that because all the good disciples of Srila Prabhupada learned the transcendental example of Srila Prabhupada and imbibe those qualities in themselves, and so that they can become touchstones and still continue to revive the Krishna consciousness of people who are completely engrossed in this material world. And that is the purpose of a great Acharya. And those devotees who are actually Narayana Para, they reject all these things. They're not looking after alms. They're only wanting to revive our Krishna consciousness. They will not be influenced like the yogi bogis are influenced by the money. They start the yoga and enter into the business. They start the classes and they set up the big empires for their own family. But look at the transcendentalists, the real transcendentalists, Srila Prabhupada, who said not even a few rupees for my parent, for my family. This is all Krishna's money. When you all know how to use the energy of Krishna for the Krishna consciousness, then he is the only right kind of a recipient of this knowledge. Otherwise, it's Bhoga Vaishwarya. Otherwise, in India, we have seen so many people sitting on the Vyasa Asan. Just to put up the pandal, people spend for 15 to 20, 30 lakhs. And what is the end result of that pravachan of sapta or whatever it is? What is the result of that sapta? That even if one person cannot get rid of tea drinking or a smoking or a ganja or a... But when a true transcendentalist touches your consciousness, you hear from him then you can benefit yourself and you benefit others also. This is the beauty of Krishna consciousness. Such deluding books of knowledge, not having Narayana as their aim, are not at all knowledge. Nowadays, people go, don't mind my saying, maximum Andhrites, young boys have gone to America. Tamil Nadu, all gone to America. All other different places. What for? Earning money. And they think by just earning money, they will become very happy. They never become happy, sir. They earn money, but their children have no culture. They lose their culture. They have no Krishna consciousness until unless, of course, they are connected with ISKCON, the only movement which can revive our dormant Krishna consciousness. But in their situation also, a favorable situation also for some kids, they are not able to connect themselves because they are influenced by Bhoga and Aishwarya. As long as you are influenced by Bhoga Aishwarya, you can never increase your transcendental qualities. They will remain suppressed. And if you want to bring that back, you have to Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yogam. That is to be done in this lifetime. Otherwise, don't waste your life. And what is our life? Little life, 60 years, 70 years, what more can be there? And in that life also you have lost 60 years, 70 years, earning just simply money. And when are you going to give the time? Do you think that within 10 years you can please Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God? Do you think that your chanting is so powerful that you can woo Krishna? No. It needs a lot of dedication. It needs a lot of dedication. It needs a focused attention. As Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Man mana mad bhaktmo madhyaji mam namaskaru. Your mind has to be captivated by the beauty of Krishna. And if it is not there, that means it is attracted to the inferior energy of Krishna. And as long as you are interested in the inferior energy of the Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you will not taste the nectar of bhakti. Sometimes we become influenced by, I will become this, I will become that. But that's all stumbling blocks in your endeavor of devotional service. Prabhupada says, furthermore, any book, whether it is techie, you want to become techie, you want to have an art, you want to have anything, these books are not going to revive your Krishna consciousness. Even sometimes in India, my dear brothers, भारत में देखेंगे कि आप कितनी देवी देवताओं की पूजा में लगे हुए हैं. यहां पर प्रभुपाद जी वो चीज को संपूर्ण रूप से रिजेक्ट कर रहे हैं, क्योंकि ये देवी देवता भी भगवान के अंश हैं, भगवान के प्रतिनिधि हैं, और ये देवी देवता जो भी कुछ करते हैं भगवान के आश्रय में करते हैं. हम जैसे जीवों को तुरंत अपने आध्यात्मिक जीवन को रिवाइव करना चाहिए, और जब तक नहीं करेंगे तब तक हम ऐसे ही पड़े रहेंगे, अपने मन को दिलासा दिलाते रहेंगे कि मैं जो कुछ कर रहा हूं वो ठीक कर रहा हूं. But actually that is not the thing. The supreme worshipable deity is Narayana. The demigods are recommended secondarily for worship in relation to the Narayana, because the demigod are assisting hands in the management of universal affairs. देवी देवता भगवान को असिस्ट करते. प्रभुपाद जी हमेशा एग्जाम्पल देते, जैसे कि प्राइम मिनिस्टर है मोदी जी, अभी उन्होंने 70 कैबिनेट मिनिस्टर्स का विस्तार कर दिया. किस लिए किया? ताकि उनके कार्य अच्छी तरीके से चले, नहीं तो उनको सब कोई तिरस्कार कर सकता है. उनके कार्य, उनके डिपार्टमेंट्स अच्छी तरीके से चले तो उन्होंने अच्छी तरीके से अपना विस्तार किया. इसी तरीके से भगवान भी इन देवी देवताओं का पोर्टफोलियोज देते हैं ताकि वो अच्छी तरीके से कार्य कर सकें. मगर यहाँ पर ट्रांसेंडेंटल में क्या है, भौतिकता में क्या? ट्रांसेंडेंटल में सब कुछ भगवान के नेतृत्व में होते हुए ये सब कार्यक्रम हो रहा है. So Prabhupada ji bata, as the officers of the kingdom are respected due to their relation to the king, the demigods are also worshipped due to their relation to the Lord. आज आप देवी देवताओं को क्यों बजा जाता है? क्योंकि उनका संबंध भगवान के पास. इसी तरीके से जब आप ब्रह्म संहिता पढ़ते हैं, ब्रह्मा जी की सब ब्रह्म संहिता पढ़ेंगे, उसमें सब चीज का वर्णन है. देवी क्या है, गणेश क्या है, महेश क्या है? कभी कभी गणेश को लोग पूछते हैं ताकि हमको सक्सेस मिले, हमको सब। हाँ, अगर सही ढंग से तुम गणेश को पूजोगे कि तुम मेरे भगवत भक्ति में विघ्न सभी हर दो, तो भगवान आपके सभी विघ्न आपकी भक्ति में हर करें। क्यों? ब्रह्म संहिता में बताया गया है कि वही गणेश जी अपने कुंभ सर के ऊपर भगवान के 2 चरण सदैव धारण करते हैं, तब जाके वो विघ्न हरता बनते हैं। तब जाके वो विघ्न हरता बनते हैं। We don't have to disrespect the demigods, but we don't have to make them the prime goal of life. The materialistic भारतीय आजकल कभी कभी मंगलवार रखते हैं, कभी शनिवार रखते हैं, कभी कुछ करते हैं। उनको पूछे भाई एकादशी रखा क्या? मेरे को मालूम नहीं है जी, मेरे को मालूम नहीं एकादशी क्या है, और मैं फास्टिंग भी नहीं कर सकता हूँ। हजारों लाखों ऐसे दृष्टांत हैं, बताने का समय नहीं है, क्योंकि प्रभु लोगों ने मेरे को बताया कि 1 घंटा मैक्सिमम, और मेरे ख्याल भी बहुत सेवा है। तो without the Lord's relationship, worship of the demigod is unauthorized. You see, it is unauthorized. Okay, just as it's improper to water the leaves. प्रभुपाद जी बता रहे हैं, बेवकूफी व्यक्ति वो होगा जो केवल क्या करेगा, पत्तों को सींचेगा, पत्तों को पानी देगा। मगर असली जो बुद्धिमान व्यक्ति है, one who is very intelligent, he will water the roots, because ईश्वरा परम कृष्णा सचिदानंद विग्रह अनादिरादिर गोविंद सर्व कारण कारणम चिंतामणि प्रकर्षात्म सुकल्प वृक्षा तेषु सुरवीर विपालयन्तम गोविंदमादि पुरुषम तमाम भजामि. Krishna is the cause of all causes. Nobody says cause. That's how we have to relate, and then everything will be. The lokas or the different planets are attractive because they have their different varieties of life and bliss, partially representing the Sachidananda Vigraha. Because हर चीज कृष्णमय है, हर चीज उनके बगैर संभव ही नहीं हो सकता कि हम एग्जिस्ट कर सकते हैं. जीव जो अपने जीवन में बहुत ही अपने आप को अभिमानी समझता है, ये 5 एलिमेंट्स अलग हो जाएंगे, आत्मा निकल जाएगा, ये 5 एलिमेंट्स का क्या मतलब है? कुछ भी नहीं मतलब होता है. इट इज देयर इज नो यूज ऑफ दिस डेड बॉडी. What is the use of this dead body? 5 elements, they will be burnt, they will be turned into the ashes, they will be mixing with all the furthermore elements. But it's everywhere. You have to see, even if you see a microscopic ant also, it's moving because Lord is present in him as Paramatma and Atma. So if we understand this very, very seriously, then the devotee's conviction increases very, very nicely to the Supreme Personality of God, because this is transcendental knowledge. And as long as you're trying to cultivate the material knowledge, you're never going to understand the prowess of Krishna. You will never understand how great Krishna is. That is why transcendental knowledge, also receiving it from a bona fide spiritual master, will revive your dormant Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, you may keep on going to the different gurus, different ways, yoga, boga, dhyana, jnana, this, that, whatever you may be doing. But if it's not culminating at the lotus feet of Krishna, that's all futile attempt. It may be there. You may look like, as Prabhupada says, it may look like a progressive, advancement. From one planet to another planet, you may think that you're going. Yeah, that's also advancement. But we don't want to get stuck up in these material planets for thousands and thousands of years. We don't want to become Brahma. We don't want to become Indra. We don't want to become Chandra. This human form of life can go back home, back to Godhead, the moment we surrender to Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. Sarvadharmam parityaja mam ekam sharanam bhaja aham tva sarva papi moksasami mahasucha. And this whole situation can come only to us when we are adhering to the instructions of our Guru and Krishna, when we are chanting our rounds in the Brahma Muhurta time. Not that you are driving your car and you will chant. If somebody is sitting at the backside, he can chant very nice. Not that you will have a clicker in your hand and say that I'm chanting the holy name of the Lord. Our mind is, my dear friends, our mind is very fickle. Our mind is very, very volatile. That's why Krishna is beckoning us to make this mind very focused, very focused. Sometimes you come to the temple, you are in the temple, Guru Puja is happening, you're talking something else. You're talking about business. You're talking about something else. You are offending your Prabhupada. You are offending, your Guru. Because you are supposed to sing Mangalarti Guru Puja with the full, complete consciousness and the complete attention. Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittite Korina Akya. That you have to revive. Then only you will be able to have an access to this transcendental knowledge, which can revive your dormant Krishna consciousness. That is the beauty of this transcendental knowledge. Duration of life with a proportionate quality of bliss and knowledge may be increased from one. Prabhupada said, one planet to another. One can increase the duration of life to thousands and hundreds of thousands of years in different planets. But nowhere is there eternal life. Okay? Where is eternal life? In the abode of Krishna, the Supreme Personality of God. And for that, therefore the progressive journey for one planet to another culminates in reaching the supreme planet of the Lord, Madhama. But Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came. We're thankful to Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu coming 500 years back and giving us the blissful experience of Krishna consciousness by simply chanting the holy name of the Lord. The yogis and the bogis have been doing for thousands and thousands of years. The Lord has become most beneficent. He has become most merciful. He said, just simply chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. He is saying, simply chant this holy name of the Lord, and you will understand this transcendental subject matter very easily. Sometimes, my friends, you must have come across the very hardcore people also. You tell them to chant, they will say, oh, humko malum nahi, humko ata nahi hai. You tell them to leave the smoking, he will say, humse ho nahi sakta. You leave the meat eating, he will say, maine kabhi zindagi mein kiya hi nahi hai. Huh? But it's all possible by chanting the holy name of the Lord, because Lord has put the maximum strength in this holy name for all of us. My dear brothers and sisters, it's always for us to put our momentum little faster in your life, so that we don't lose this precious life. So this human life is the best gadget to take you back home, back to Godhead, because you can always engage your senses, tongue, eyes, body in the service of Krishna. This devotional service is very, very important. So here we see that Narada, for the benefit of all of us, he is putting so wonderful questions to him, and Brahmaji is also not getting puffed up by hearing these questions, and he is saying that Krishna is the supreme source, wherefrom I am getting the knowledge, I am getting the strength to do all that. I may have created so many planets, this and that, but it's all by the mercy of the Supreme Lord. I am the secondary creator. Huh? So Brahmaji, in many places, he is saying that I am the secondary creator. Primary is Advaitam Achyutam Anadi Anantarupam Adhyam Purana Purusham Navayovanam Cha. He is the source of all these planets. He is the source of that primary thing. And to that Supreme Lord, if we surrender, he is going to always take care of us. And that's how in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Vasudeva, in whose abode, on his prangan, Krishna came and danced and became the sun. He's saying that when will my life come? Manasa vritayo naha suya Krishna padambuja shaya vacho bhideir namana kayastat prabhanadishu. May our mental functions, ध्यान से सुनिए, what is Vasudev saying? May our mental functions always take shelter of Krishna's lotus feet. Take, the shelter of the lotus feet of Krishna. May our mind always chant his names. What is Lord Chaitanya saying? Same Krishna is saying. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. Harinama, 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 Kevalam, Klo, Nastev, 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 Gatina. And the same Vasudeva, devotee is saying his name, and may our bodies always bow down to him and serve him. This should be our akansha. This should be our prime desire, that as long as I am in this wonderful body, how can I do very sad. Prabhu, what is the problem? Prabhuji, I cannot offer my obeisances also. My body has become little old. I cannot bow down. Prabhu, I cannot hold my japmala beads properly because, I have become old. But in this old body also, those who have practiced Krishna consciousness, they die like a Bhishma Pitama. They always think about Krishna. Their thinking, feeling, and willing is absolutely for Krishna and for the Guru. When your life will become absolutely for your Guru, Krishna, and everything, that's your success. Don't mind my saying if I tell you, Baba, what are you doing in Sarja? Of course, if you are preaching, you are doing great. But if you are after the dinar and money, come back to India and revive your Krishna consciousness and just dedicate your life for preaching. That should be the mood of every devotee of ISKCON, because our best example is, our best example is Prabhupada. Our best, second best examples are Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, Jayapataka Goswami Maharaj, Lokanath Swami Maharaj, and so many great souls who surrendered to Prabhupada, the great Lion Guru, and gave up complete life to him. Do you think your money can save you? Do you think your insurances can save you? No, Prabhu. You have to revive your Krishna consciousness. You have to connect with the association of the devotees. You have to serve and make use of this bad bargain in this material world. That's how this whole transcendental knowledge will go to seep in. Through these blunt senses, the transcendental knowledge will seep in because you have been doing the Shishanoti, you have been hearing this transcendental subject matter. And as long as you hear the subject matter, this will going to, help your Krishna consciousness all the time. So my humble request to you is, while you are continuously reading Srimad Bhagavatam, Rasamalayam, just keep on having the taste for reading it, because this Bhagavatam reading and this association of Vaishnavas and this chanting of the holy name can take you from a Buddha stage to the transcendental level, where you will have a continuous, affinity to Krishna consciousness. Otherwise, there are sometimes, sometimes big accidents on the royal roads also, isn't it? But if you remain in association of the devotee, if you remain focused in Krishna consciousness, in bhakti, then you don't worry. Even if you are, sometimes distracted, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Apichetu Sudharacharo Bhajatam Ananyata. Sometimes even if you are deviated here and there from the path of spiritual life, but if you are focused, if you have not left the shelter of your Guru, if you are not left the shelter of a holy name, if you have not left the shelter of the association of the devotees, you will be called back. Krishna will serve you. Krishna will save you and help you to become wonderful devotee in your life. So this is what we have to learn from this passage. Of course, I could go on, but we must understand that, Prabhupada ji also says in the, in the Bhagavad Gita also, especially knowledge of the absolute, that, we must understand, Prabhupada is very clearly saying the material creation we must understand. Lord Krishna's planetary expansions assumes 3 Vishnus, and the person who understands these 3 Vishnus properly, who are those? Mahavishnu, Garbhodakshaya Vishnu, and Shirodakshaya Vishnu. If you understand this transcendental knowledge very, very clearly, then you will not come back to this material world. You will be liberated from the entanglement. जिसने भी इन तीनों विष्णु का विस्तार जान लिया है, वो पुनः इस भौतिक संसार के संग में, भौतिक संसार में बंध नहीं जाते हैं। और इस तरीके से हमको समझना होगा कि गर्भोदक्षाय वो कौन है, महाविष्णु कौन है, और क्षीरोदक्षाय विष्णु क्या कौन है, और ये अल्टीमेटली तीनों विष्णु जो हैं भगवान के ही एक्सपेंशन है। और किस तरीके से ये एक्सपेंशन करते हैं, इस तत्व विज्ञान को अच्छी तरीके से समझने का प्रयास करते हुए हम भगवत धाम जा सकते हैं। केवल एक प्रयास, एक शुद्ध प्रयास अपने जीवन में होना चाहिए, एक दृढ़ता होनी चाहिए, एक संकल्प होना चाहिए, जिसके नाते हम अपने संबंधों को रिवाइव कर सकते हैं। तो केवल अपने इस आध्यात्मिक जीवन में बने रहिए। जो भी अपने गुरु के इंस्ट्रक्शंस आपको प्राप्त हुए हैं, 16 माला जप करने के लिए, 4 नियम पालन करने के लिए, अपने घर में भागवत पढ़ने के लिए, भक्तों का जो आप समूह एक साथ में रहते हैं, उस प्रिकेरियस सिचुएशन में भी आप जहां पर भी रहते हैं और फिर भी भक्तों की संग की कामना सदैव करते हैं, वही संग हमारे जीवन के अभिप्राय को समझाने में सक्षम होगा। और आहिस्ता आहिस्ता हम अपनी प्रक्रियाओं को, जो भौतिक प्रक्रियाएं, उनको हम परित्याग करते हुए आध्यात्मिक प्रक्रियाओं में बदल के हम भगवत धाम जा सकते हैं। यही हमारे जीवन का लक्ष्य होना चाहिए। With this, I would like to stop it here. If anybody has got any questions or comments to make, he is most welcome to put me the questions.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, thank you very much for the wonderful class. It was very penetrating. And I am extremely sorry कि like a small brother वो introduces the elder brother बोलेंगे कि भाई मुझे chocolate में इतने बताया, please forgive me. मैं जानता हूँ कि Prabhuji you have been such a senior devotee, but I have my fault that मैंने पूरी अच्छी ढंग से नहीं किया. But it is like a younger brother because मैं तो आपको बड़े भाई जैसे ही कभी बचपन से जानता हूँ. और
वो 1 घंटा पहले हो गया, अभी आप 1 घंटा
नहीं, उसलिए मैं एक छोटा सा रिक्वेस्ट है कि आई रिक्वेस्ट हेमंगा प्रभुजी टू इंट्रोड्यूस इन हिंदी बिकॉज़ देयर आर मेनी डिवोटीज हु जॉइन लेटर. तो हेमंगा प्रभुजी जरा एक सम्स में थोड़ा सा प्लीज हिंदी में बोलिए प्रभु के बस में इंट्रोडक्शन बिफोर वी टेक द क्वेश्चंस.
हाँ बोलिए प्रभु बोलिए.
नहीं आप इंट्रोड्यूस प्रभु जी का जो बताए थे उन्होंने.
अच्छा मैं उसको हिंदी में बोल देता हूँ. ठीक है.
ये सबको जो लेट ज्वाइन किया उनको मिलता है. अच्छा
ठीक है. तो अभी जो हमारे पूजनीय परम पूजनीय सूरदास प्रभु जी हैं, तो उनको तो मैं कई सालों से उनको जानता हूँ. तो वहाँ पे जो कला क्षेत्र,
चेहरे से तो बहुत जवान दिखता हूँ मगर इतना यंग नहीं हो. मैं 65 ईयर्स का हूँ और उतना यंग नहीं हूँ. चेहरे से यंग दिखता हूँ क्योंकि भगवत भक्ति में कृष्ण कॉन्शियसनेस में 22 साल से हूँ मैं, तो इसलिए थोड़ा सा आपको लगता है कि बहुत अच्छा लगता है चेहरे से.
प्रभु जी अभी भी बहुत मतलब हम जवान लोग भी इतना नहीं कर पाएंगे जो बहुत सेवा करते हैं. तो मैंने खुद देखा है इनको बहुत बिजी, बहुत व्यस्त रहते हैं एकदम बहुत ज्यादा. और इतना बड़ा जो करोड़ों का जो मंदिर अभी बना रहे अकेले पूरा संघर्ष करके.
प्रभुपाद जी की कृपा है, मेरा कुछ में उसमें है नहीं. ये प्रभुपाद जी हैं, इस्कॉन है, गुरु की कृपा है और कुछ पास है नहीं भाई. बस ऐसे
वो बहुत हम्बल हैं काफी. और हम उनको बहुत सबके करीब रहते हैं. आप जितने भी भक्त हैं आप देखेंगे बहुत सारे भक्त मंदिर में बहुत पर्सनल ख्याल भी रखते हैं उनका सबका. और सभी का बराबर उनकी साधना बराबर हो रही नहीं है. सबको बहुत अच्छे ढंग से मतलब बहुत ज्यादा एक्टिव हैं. हम लोग बहुत मतलब कम ऐसे मैंने मंदिर के अध्यक्ष देखे हैं जो इतने ज्यादा एक्टिव, बहुत ज्यादा मतलब एनर्जेटिक है. अभी भी 65 ईयर के मुझे भी अभी मालूम पड़ा. मैं तो उनको वही 50-55 का समझता था, 50 के होंगे. तो प्रभु तो बहुत यंग, बहुत मैं समझ 50 में ज्यादा बोले, 45 तक दिखते हैं प्रभु अभी भी। तो नहीं, और संकीर्तन मुझे मालूम है जूम इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा इनका। और कॉलेज में एक बार जब मैं पढ़ा था तो यहाँ पे जब आया था मैं 2011 में, तो हमारे कॉलेज में इनको इन्वाइट किया गया था प्रभु जी को लेक्चर के लिए, कुछ कीर्तन के लिए। तो वहाँ पे जितने भी जो लेक्चरर्स थे और जो जितनी भी जो लेडीज थी वहाँ, वो बहुत ही इंप्रेस हो गए प्रभु का। इतना मुझे याद है अभी भी, वो घूमता रहता है उनकी जो उनके कमेंट्स है प्रभु के ऊपर कि कैसे जो उन्होंने जब गाते हैं प्रभु तो सही में आप है ना डूब जाएंगे, आपको वो मतलब बार बार गूंजता रहेगा आपके कानों में। तो ऐसे गाते हैं जब तो प्रभु पूरा डिवोशन के साथ में, इवन मंगल आती है आप पूरा झूम उठेंगे आप। तो इवन जो लेक्चरर्स थे, इवन जो कर्मी लोग थे वो तो मुझे याद है उन्होंने बहुत सारे कमेंट्स भी किए थे। तो ऐसे जो भक्ति कला क्षेत्र में इन्होंने बहुत अच्छा वहाँ पे सेवा किया ना, जो मैं अभी भी जाते हैं वहाँ पे, अभी भी 3 दिन वहाँ रहते हैं और बहुत सारी मतलब एक्टिविटीज है उनका। आप जितना बोलते जाओ उतना कम है। मुझे याद है वहाँ पे उनके जो असिस्टेंट है वो मुझे तो बताते थे प्रभु जी के बारे में। प्रभु जी बहुत ज्यादा व्यस्त रहते हैं। और वहाँ पे उनका ऑडिटोरियम है जो वहाँ पे जूम है, अभी तो शायद नया ऑडिटोरियम भी बना है। तो उसमें बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम होते थे। उसमें हेमा मालिनी को भी इन्होंने, बहुत सारे फिल्मी एक्टरों को भी लाए प्रभु जी, उनको भी इंट्रोड्यूस किया। और इसके अलावा जैसे बताया इन्होंने कि अलग अलग देशों में जाके उन्होंने जो, जैसे कि उधर जो नैरोबी वगैरह में है, मुक्तिवेनाथ मैनार है, और यहाँ पे जो मणिपुर में है और उड़ीसा में है, ऐसे बहुत सारे जगहों पे, उसका हांगकांग में है। ये सब जगह उन्होंने भक्ति कला क्षेत्र उन्होंने स्थापित किया है ताकि कल्चर प्रोग्राम, क्योंकि आपको मालूम है अगर नए भक्तों को हमको आकर्षित करना है या इसको बहुत कृष्ण भावना में एकदम बहुत ज्यादा मजेदार बना के रखना है, ये भक्ति कला क्षेत्र का बहुत बड़ा रोल होता है। तो प्रभु जी बहुत उसमें एक्टिव रहे हैं। और इसके अलावा भी बहुत सारा जो सेवा है इनकी, जैसे बहुत सारे डिपार्टमेंट संभाल ही रहे हैं, बहुत सारे कलेक्शन करवा रहे हैं वो, इतनी खराब सिचुएशन में।
अभी सबको प्रश्न करने दीजिए, अभी छोड़ दीजिए। मांग प्रभु, just don't worry about these things, please. Everybody has got any questions, they are most welcome.
प्रश्न पूछिए। ओके, ठीक।
Okay, Bidya Bihari, thank you very much, Hemago Prabhuji.
Okay.
And we'll take the questions. Bidya Bihari Prabhuji, go ahead. You have a question. Unmute yourself. Bidya Bihari Prabhu, unmute yourself. Ask the question quickly. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Okay, Sadarana Prabhu.
माता जी पूछना चाहती क्या? प्रेम प्रधानी माता जी।
Okay, go ahead.
नहीं, उनका नहीं, कुछ गलती से उनका हाथ चला गया।
Okay, ठीक है। Sadarana Prabhu, go ahead.
अच्छा, उनका वो शायद बोल रहे हो अनम्यूट नहीं कर पा रहे हैं वो। सादा हरि नाम प्रभु, वो है ना विद्यारी प्रभु की वाइफ जो प्रेम प्रधानी माता जी, अनम्यूट नहीं कर पा रही है वो अनम्यूट कर नहीं पा रहा। अब जरा देखो क्यों नहीं।
एलो किया प्रभु, एलो किया।
अभी बोलिए माता जी, बोलिए। हाँ बोलिए माता जी, प्रेम प्रधानी माता जी बोलिए।
हरे कृष्ण प्रभु जी, प्रणाम। मेरा एक क्वेश्चन है कि मेरा ये क्वेश्चन है कि कोई अगर बहुत मतलब बेमर रहते, उसको मतलब उससे कुछ सेवा भगवान से नहीं हो पा रहा है, तो क्या उनका मन का भाव ऐसा है कि वो मतलब बहुत इच्छा है कि कृष्ण में तो सेवा करना चाहते हो लेकिन नहीं हो पाता, लेकिन मन में बहुत इच्छा है, मतलब तीव्र प्रचंड इच्छा है, लेकिन वो कर नहीं पा रहे, तो क्या वो भक्त नहीं बन सकते? क्या उसको गोलोकधाम नहीं मिल सकता है? क्या भगवान का मतलब भगवान से वो क्या अटैच नहीं हो सकते? वो क्या विच्युत है क्या भगवान से? मुझे ये क्वेश्चन है।
देखिए, कलयुग में सबसे बड़ी सेवा है नाम स्मरण करना और शास्त्र पढ़ना। सेवा तभी कर सकते जब आपका शरीर स्वस्थ होगा। जब आपका शरीर स्वस्थ होगा तो उससे सेवा हो सकती है। इस शरीर से भी सेवा करना चाहिए। अगर नहीं होता है तो नाम स्मरण कीजिए, नहीं होता है अध्ययन कीजिए, नहीं होता है आप श्रवण कर सकते हैं। जितना तीव्रता से श्रवण कर सकते हैं उतना अच्छा है। परीक्षित महाराज जी एक राजा थे, मगर जब वो पूरा राज्य संभालते हुए भी उन्होंने ये अनुष्ठान किया कि मुझे सुखदेव गोस्वामी जी के मुखारबिंद से भागवत सुनना है। उस भागवत सुनने के उपरांत ही वो भगवत धाम चले गए। तो सेवा तो हम जैसे कलयुगी जीव के लिए है कि ताकि हम इस पिंड को सदैव एंगेज कर सके, क्योंकि ये जो इंद्रियां हैं अपूर्ण हैं, और जब हम अपूर्ण इंद्रियों से भगवान की सेवा में लग जाते हैं तो वो कभी कभी डिस्ट्रैक्टेड हो जाती है, यही प्यूरिफाई हो जाती है। जैसे कि आपने अमरीश महाराज जी के चरित्र से सुना है, उन्होंने राजा होने के बावजूद भी वो अपने महल से मंदिर की ओर चल के जाया करते थे। और अपने हाथों से सेवा करते थे। तो ये विभिन्न प्रकार के लोगों पर निर्भर करता है कि उनकी स्थिति कैसी है। तो भगवान तो जानते हैं, भगवान तो गटगटवासी है, वो अंतर्यामी है, वो जानते हैं कौन किसके अंदर में क्या भाव है। अगर वो क्योंकि भगवान जो है हमारी भौतिक स्थिति को नहीं देखते हैं, भगवान बोलते हैं भावग्रही जनार्दन, वो हमारे भाव को देखते हैं। मगर उस भाव स्टेज पे पहुंचने के लिए भी हमको ग्राउंड लेवल से उठना पड़ेगा, तब जाके भाव स्टेज पर पहुंच सकते हैं। तो इसलिए श्रद्धा होना बहुत जरूरी है। अगर एक व्यक्ति को श्रद्धा है, श्रद्धा के बाद में आहिस्ता आहिस्ता प्रगति कर सकते हैं। सो आप उसमें कभी ज्यादा सोचिए मत कि अगर आप सेवा नहीं कर पाते हैं, मगर आप जप कर रहे हैं, भागवत पढ़ रहे हैं, भक्तों का कीर्तन और संग कर रहे हैं, ये भी आपके जीवन के लिए बहुत ही अनुकूल रहेगा।
Thank you, Prabhuji. Very nice points. Manasi Kulkarni Mataji, go ahead. Unmute yourself quickly.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam, Hare Krishna. Please accept my humble obeisances onto your lotus feet, His Grace SURDAS Prabhuji. I think you may be knowing me.
Oh, Hare Krishna. Hare, all the blessings. How come you are there, Kharja? So God.
No, I'm very much near Jew temple, but I was associated
Okay.
with Bhagavad Gita classes, so that's why I attend the classes. So it was very nice class, Prabhuji, and I'm really missing the Janmashtami celebrations which happen, the Bhakti Kala Kshetra programs in the auditorium.
All happened. Don't worry. Yes, Krishna is giving you the chance to chant more.
Yes,
chant more,
Prabhuji.
more and associate more. So wonderful. Nice to see you.
Thank you, Prabhuji. I really enjoyed the class, and I was actually doing Abhishek, and at that time only you started chanting the Brahma Samhita prayers. So I was like, this is the best opportunity. Let me just do the Abhishek and continue. It happened at the same time. And this shloka is really nice. And actually had presented this shloka and the next shloka in one of the classes of Krishna, my Mataji's class,
Yes.
And I had a question. There is para shabda in this one. So para shabda comes 3 times in this shloka. I was just looking at it in detail. So the first para is said in the cause and is meant for. Then the next para, it says for the sake of. And the third para, it says just to please. So I just wanted to understand that the same word, how is it that, because it's just giving me some rise for confusion, that the same word has been given 3 different synonyms, the explanation.
So that all the materialistic people can understand. जैसे हम लोगों को एक शब्दावली चैतन्य महाप्रभु बताते हैं 3 बार, हरि नाम हरि नाम हरि नाम केवलम. Correct? 3 times. The same thing is 3 times. But here also it is 3 times. You see, Vyasadeva is emphasizing it's only the Supreme Lord. It is only the Supreme Lord. It's only the Supreme Lord. From the Vedas, we have to learn that, who is the Supreme Personality of God. If the demigods are there, they have to be also understood that they are in relationship with the Supreme Personality of God. Okay? Then only they are having this wonderful, prowess of demigodhood. And then this body, which is part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of God, whatever we are possessing, whether it is our ability, whether it's our knowledge, everything is because of Krishna. That's why here it is 3 paras are there, emphasizing on the Supreme Personality of God.
Yes, Prabhuji, I got that, but the 3 different meanings are there. Like when it is said, Kalau nasteva gati ranyatha, in that, the same meaning is there 3 times, but here the meaning is different. That's what was the confusion. In the cause and is meant for the Supreme, just to please him, and another one is for the sake of. So there are 3 different meanings for the same para. Like when we say para, it is like paragatim, right? Paragatim is like above that, like guna ke para hona.
Beyond the purview of the Lord.
Beyond, yeah. Above all, yeah.
So here also it is said that, for sacrifice, actually, Krishna is the Bhokta. For Vedas, we have to understand Krishna. From the demigod's prowess, we have to understand Krishna. So this is all three for us in connection of these three things. That's what I can understand. If you have understood better, you please tell me.
Thank you, Prabhuji. It's fine. Hare Krishna. Thank
That is
you.
Krishna. So you may start from B, you may start C, but you have to understand that Krishna is to Bhagavan Swayam. And if that goes in our proper, in our consciousness, then there will be no problem. So I think this shloka itself is very clear in the whole understanding, because the Vedic literatures are meant for the Supreme Lord. Okay, बनाया भी उन्होंने है और उनके लिए ही गुणगान. A composer, a poet, when he writes a poem, it is for glorifying the Supreme Lord. But though it has been written by him, but the objective of that writing a poem is to glorify the Lord. And the demigods are also meant for serving the Lord. Okay?
Yes.
What is happening? Because they are part and parcel of the body. The different planets are also meant for the Vistar is also for the sake of the Lord. ये विस्तार भी जो है, सृष्टि का जो विस्तार है, ये भी भगवान की प्रसन्नता के लिए है. And sacrifices are also performed for the, Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because Bhoktaram Yajnatapsam Sarvaloke Maheshwar is the Bhokta of all the Yajnas. Okay? So demigods may be there, but actual Bhokta is Krishna. Once that is understood, then our understanding will be getting purified, and we will get also focused on the lotus feet of Krishna. And our focus on the lotus feet of Krishna is absolute, then we can go back to God. That's what is the purpose of human life.
Yes, Prabhuji. And even in the 15.15, he says, no, I'm the knower of the Vedas and the knower and the knowing. You have to know him. Vedesha sarve rahameva vedyo vedanta krid veda vedeva cha.
Yes. But unfortunately, the impersonalists, they cannot understand, because they become knowledgeable. They become more Mayavadis. The difference, Mayavadis, they cannot understand that. They may reach up to the effulgence, but they cannot embrace the lotus feet of Krishna. That's why people have to understand. And you have to get this transcendental knowledge, the right source. And see from the point of it that Prabhupada is about, that, even a pure devotee, Narada, trying to hear from the right source. And who is the right source? The secondary creator is Brahmaji. And Brahmaji can take him to the different realms. Okay? Any other question?
Thank you, Manasi Madhya. Thank you for your question. Very nice one. Sadharana Prabhu, I think you had something, right? Please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Just a quick question, Prabhuji. When devotees go through some difficulties and for a long time they undergo that, and they kind of reciprocation when it doesn't really happen the way, at least to bare minimum circumstances, they lose we lose the motivation. So how to understand this Leela of Krishna?
The real motivation for an individual soul is that if he is Guru Mukha Padma Vakya Chittite Korinar. You see, don't see it from a material point of view. This is a transcendental knowledge, and we don't want to see that aapki naukri mil gayi, chokri mil gayi, kapda mil gaya, wo mil gaya. This has nothing to do with that. It's absolutely how to motivate you on the path of spiritual life. It's because ultimately, it's all our karma. You see, it's only the karma which denotes, what we have to do. Hamare karma, hamare vistar mein, hamare, we have spread our own selves in different places, but it's all our little vistar of sense gratification. But the moment you are surrendering to Krishna, he takes care of it. Whether it comes lately or you should not be hatash. A consciousness person is never hatash. He is never desperate, because he can wait. He can wait in his whole life for the good sign from the Krishna. But he is not expecting that, I should become materially better and then only it is correct. But no. A true devotee suffers the most. Look at Prabhupada. At the age of 70, he went to the Western world, and he was not hatash that, oh Krishna, why did you allow me to go at the 70 age? You are very fortunate that you have taken up Krishna consciousness in the young age, whoever is putting me this question. So you will be very fortunate that at least you are allowing the holy name to come on the tip of your tongue. Just don't count that material progress with your material result, spiritual progress from a material point of view. If you don't get the dollars, if you don't get the dinars, don't worry about that. Just be happy that you're chanting. You're the most fortunate person. Look at the population of the world. How many people are chanting the holy name of the Lord? How many people are getting the Vaishnava association? How many people are reading Srimad Bhagavatam? How many people are associating with Prabhupada? And then you understand from the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says only devotee can know me. And you're on the right path. Be happy all the time. It doesn't matter what is going to happen to your body, sir. Whether you're going to have a cough, cold, or this and that. Don't get distressed about it. Be fortunate. You are fortunate that you're chanting the holy name of the Lord. Look at those people. They may be rich and very famous, but they cannot chant one holy name. Look at Nirav Modi, who has run away, enter Goa. Huh? Is he chanting the holy name? What is the use of that material opulence, which is not being utilized in the service of Krishna? Look at Srila Prabhupada. He had no money, but he created an empire of billions of dollars, but for Krishna, for not his sense gratification. People create billions of rupees for making their families this, that, but they are very unhappy because they are not able to chant the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Isn't it? We are very fortunate, Prabhu, because this, at any given time, yes, Utsaha, Dhairya, Karma Pravartanat. Utsaha should be always in devotional service. हमेशा अपना 16 माला जप कीजिए सही पे. अगर 16 माला प्रातः के टाइम पे नहीं होगा, it will haunt you for 24 hours. Let me tell you frankly, if you are an initiated disciple, Prabhu, your prime duty is to see that before 7 o'clock, you finish your chanting 16 mala. And from that, you go to their office and then you will see everything will be blessed. Come back to your home, eat Krishna Prasadam, read Bhagavatam, sleep. Prabhupada ji said this simple thing is going to take you back home, back to God. Okay?
We have one more question, Prabhuji.
Rashmikant.
Okay, before that, I had requested Varaha Rupa Mataji to also on the video so that we can have blessings from her also, as Prabhuji has joined. Mataji, you can please kindly give a kind word for 2 minutes for all of us, and I would like to also extend my pranams to you and Prabhuji again. A request also to visit us when COVID Baba settles down. Both of you, please come.
You have to. Now I will tell you my annulum. You have to allow me to complete my project here, then I am going to travel all over the globe.
Hari.
My prime responsibility is to see that we open this project, which is very big, which is prayer to my Guru Maharaj, and which is prayer to the devotees who ever come to see this project. So they all love it. And so this is what I am on a mission to. That's it.
Okay. We'll surely support our best project. Hare Krishna. Vara Mataji is there? She's left. Okay. We'll take the question then.
Prabhuji, my pranam to you all.
Rashmikant.
Please.
Mataji
is speaking. 1 second. Vara Rupa Mataji.
Can you hear?
Vara Mataji.
Hare Krishna, pranam Prabhuji. My blessings to everybody, and so nice to be here with all the Sarja devotees.
Hari.
Very happy to be here today.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Danda pranam.
Hare Krishna.
Oh, Ramesh Sharma ji. By your deities itself, I can understand it is Ramesh Sharma ji from Biawar.
Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam Prabhuji.
All the blessings, all the blessings.
I can say a few words for appreciation to you.
Yes, yes, please.
इस तरह भगवान श्री कृष्ण ने मतलब गीता में बोला है कि जो देवता को पूजा करते हैं वो देवताओं को जाते हैं, पितरों को पूजा करते हैं वो पितरों को जाते हैं, और जो मेरी पूजा करते हैं वो सीधा भगवत धाम आते हैं। और मैं उनको इतना आशीर्वाद देता हूँ कि वो ऑल अट्रैक्शन, मेरी जो मतलब सारे ऐश्वर्य हैं वो उनको भी मिल जाता है। तो मैं वही चीज आप में देखता हूँ, आप में इतना भगवत भक्ति और इतना हम्बलनेस है कि सारी अट्रैक्शन आपको, ऑल अट्रैक्शन, जैसे भगवान श्री कृष्ण के अट्रैक्शन है वैसे ही माता जी और आपको अट्रैक्शन मिला है। हर कोई आपको देखते ही अट्रैक्ट होता है और आपसे मतलब ब्लेसिंग चाहता है।
It's all blessings of Guru and Krishna. We don't possess any.
इसके आगे एक और चीज मैं बोलूंगा, जो भी आप मतलब भक्त लोग जो इसमें वीडियो में शामिल हैं उनके लिए इतना ही कहूंगा कि ये जो श्री राधा रास बिहारी जी हैं, ये सूरदास प्रभु और वरा रूपा माता जी ने यहाँ हमारे विराजमान किए हैं। और मेरे को अभी तक भी वो याद है कि हम जमुना तीर से इस मई जून की गर्मी में आपने मतलब नंगे पांव चल के और मेरे को ये दिया है साहब, ये आपका आशीर्वाद है। और हम इसको जन्म जन्म क्या कितने ही जन्म ले लेंगे लेकिन हम भूल नहीं पाएंगे।
हरी हरी। थैंक यू रमेश प्रभु जी, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर एंटाइमिंग एंड गिविंग सच डिटेल्स। आप थोड़ा सा आपकी एक बार चेहरा भी थोड़ा दिखाएंगे डेवोटीज को, अच्छा होगा थोड़ा। वी विल लाइक टू सी यू आल्सो।
मास निकल
मैं पूजा में हूँ, ये एक मिनट जरा दिखा, केवल चेहरा ही दिखा पाऊंगा, बाकी पूरा तो नहीं दिखा पाऊंगा। हरे कृष्णा,
हरे कृष्णा, हरे कृष्णा, हरे बोल, हरे कृष्णा,
हरे कृष्णा, हरे बोल, प्रणाम।
चंद्र,
हरे कृष्णा,
हरे कृष्णा।
आप मेरे दर्शन कीजिए। ये देखिए आप जगन्नाथ बलभद्रा जी। हरे कृष्णा, थैंक यू वेरी मच फॉर गिविंग मी दिस टाइम, this opportunity.
All the blessings, Ramesh Prabhuji, Bhakt Ramesh Prabhuji, all the blessings. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, can we take the last question?
Yes, last, Prabhuji, because I got to go to for
yes, sir. That's why I'm sorry to keep you waiting. Rasmikant Prabhu, quickly.
बोलिए बोलिए।
आपके चरणों में दंडवत प्रणाम प्रभु जी, स्वीकार कीजिए। प्रभु जी, एक मेरा प्रश्न था कि जैसे कोई नया नया भक्ति में आता है तो हमेशा वो सोचता रहता है कि मैं बहुत अच्छा भक्त हूँ और मैं सबसे अच्छा हूँ, तो उसको ये मिथ्या अहंकार को कैसे त्याग करे?
संपूर्ण सेवा करना है, 24 आवर्स सदैव सेवा में रहना है, मिथ्या अहंकार से दूर हो जाएंगे। भगवान ने हम सब लोगों को कुछ बुद्धि दिया है, कुछ मात्र बुद्धि हमको दी है। जब आप तन से, मन से, धन से संपूर्ण रूप से भगवान की सेवा करते हैं तो ऑटोमेटिकली ये जो फल्गु वैराग्य है खत्म हो जाता है। चाहे हमारे वो भौतिक संपदा का हो, चाहे वो भौतिक नॉलेज का हो, या चाहे भौतिक पेरेंटेज का हो, वो तभी सब खत्म हो जाता है जब हम गुरु के चरणों में संपूर्ण रूप से आवर कर देते हैं। हमारा कुछ नहीं है, ये दिव्य ज्ञान है, हमारा कुछ नहीं है, सब कुछ भगवान और गुरु के कृपा से मिल रहा है हमको। और उसको जानना बड़ा कठिन होता है क्योंकि हम लोग माया के चंगुल में फंसे हुए हैं, और माया के चंगुल जो है, मायादास सदा उदास ही रहता है, कृष्णदास बिंदास रहता है। और हमें ये संपूर्ण रूप से सोचना होगा कि भाई मेरा तो कुछ है नहीं। ये तभी होगा जब हम भागवतम और ज्ञान को अच्छी तरीके से अपने जीवन में उतारने का प्रयास करेंगे। हाँ? और जब हम कई सालों से जप करते रहेंगे, एक दिन आपको ये ऑटोमेटिकली अंदर से आभास हो जाएगा, वास्तविकता में मेरे पास कुछ नहीं है, मेरे पास जो भी क्षमताएं हैं ये भगवान ने हमको दे दी। हम लोग जन्म लिए हैं, माता पिता मेन फैक्टर हैं, भगवान ने हमको उस पिंड में, इस बोन रक्त वगैरह में जीवात्मा डाल दिया। जीवात्मा जो ही चले गए, आहिस्ता आहिस्ता माँ के गर्भ में बढ़ने लगे, बाहर आ गए तो भौतिक वस्तुओं के साथ हमने संबंध स्थापित करना स्टार्ट कर दिया, तो सोचने लगे कि हमारा है। हमारा वास्तविकता में हमारे जीवन में कुछ भी नहीं है, ये रियल नॉलेज। मगर हम लोग जब तक माया में रहते हैं तब सोचते हैं कि ये मेरा है। तो जब ये आई और माई खत्म चला जाएगा, वास्तविकता में भक्ति का उदय तभी से स्टार्ट हो जाता है। और ये तभी, ये आई और माई तभी निकल जाएगा जब आप गुरु की शरणागत में अच्छी तरीके से सेवा करेंगे और शास्त्र पढ़ेंगे, भागवतम पढ़ेंगे, जप करेंगे, प्रसाद पाएंगे। इन सभी क्रियाओं से एक न एक दिन आपकी ये जो गलत धारणाएं भी दूर हो जाएंगी। जिस तरीके से हम बीमार अवस्था में जानते नहीं कि हमारे जीवन को कैसा कल्याण करते हैं, मगर एक डॉक्टर आ जाता है, वो हमको दवाई देता है, वो बोलता है सुबह अच्छी तरीके से दवाई ले लो, मध्यांतर में दवाई ले लो, शाम को दवाई। तो ये 7 दिन कंटिन्यूअसली दवाई लोगे, तुम्हारा ये ज्वर जो है बीमारी दूर हो जाए। तो ये भवरोग जो है, ये जो भवरोग है कई जन्मों से मिला हुआ है, मगर अब हम लोग इस स्तर पे आ गए कि हमें गुरु और कृष्ण का सहारा मिल गया है, ये भवरोग अवश्य चला जाएगा। जिस तरीके से शरीर का रोग जो है दवाई लेने से ठीक हो जाता है, चैतन्य महाप्रभु ने हमको ये भवरोग जो लगा हुआ है वो दूर कैसे होगा? ये नाम स्मरण करके होता है। और ये नाम स्मरण से जब हम जब करते हैं अच्छी तरीके से, तो ऑटोमेटिकली हमारा कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल जो पोजीशन है रिवाइव हो जाता है। हरे कृष्ण।
Thank you so much, Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Damodar Pranam.
Surdas Prabhuji, I would like to extend my pranams and from all of us in Shamadesh again, and to Mataji also. Thank you very much. It was a wonderful class and very well presented. Points were very nice and well received also. It's a good meditation for many of the devotees, I'm sure. So thank you again, and you took so much of efforts and time with such a busy schedule. So very really obliged, and pranams.
Thank you. All the blessings.
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय। Some announcements.